All right, Social Doc, interview number 20, take one.
Let me put on my media figure this.
Excellent, excellent.
I think that's probably the clearest, most concise way. Hi, I'm Dave Schrader. You know, just like everybody out there, I've had strange interests my whole life, reading every book I could get my hands on, from Hans Holzer to D. Scott Rogo. I've also had experiences of my own, a lot of hauntings throughout my life, from the visitation from my grandmother when I was about 3 years old to living in a haunted house in Medina, Illinois. And then just strange activity my whole life. Also had what I believe to be a Bigfoot sighting when I was about 12 years old. And then as of about 4.5 years ago, there were UFO sightings in Trout Lake, Washington. So I've kind of had the chance to run the gambit of all the different aspects of the paranormal. I really enjoy investigating. I enjoy learning. I've done it my whole life. That's why I said I've read every book I could get my hands on as a kid, watched every documentary and every episode of Sightings or In Search Of, and that was long before the advent of this crazy explosion that's taken place over the last decade. I really hope that with what I do, I can continue the journey to learn for myself and take people along for the ride with me. That's what we started doing with the radio show, also with the book that I wrote and with the TV series that I've been involved with. It's taking the people with us and kind of being the voice, hopefully, of the public. What do they want to know? What do they want to understand better? And what can I do to help convey that message and get the best out of the guests that we talk to? The original idea, honestly, was to go on out and get a chance to see all of these haunted locations and take our listeners along with them. And as I was friends with the guys from the Ghost Hunters TV series, to involve them and get a chance to kind of bridge that gap between TV and reality and allow our listeners to come on out and meet the people that they enjoyed watching on the shows. And things fell in line. You know, I've had an opportunity to work with, you know, the cast of Haunting Evidence, of Dead Famous, of Most Haunted, of Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Paranormal State, and kind of being the conduit between the people and the celebrities and giving them a chance to come together. One of the main reasons we started doing the events was to teach people the proper ways to investigate. There's a lot of newbies, and what scares the hell out of me is how many people have put together paranormal teams, and the only experience that they have is that they own every episode of Ghost Hunters and Paranormal State on DVD. Now, mind you, I'm not putting down the people on the shows or the shows themselves, but they are built for entertainment purposes. What that means is that you don't see all the work that goes into the investigations. It looks fun. You go into a location, and in a massive location in a half an hour, you've got an EVP, a possible photographic and video evidence. They don't realize that these people just spent 2 to 3 nights investigating this for 6 to 8 hours a night, then have to break all that video down to the end where you get 8 to 12 seconds of evidence. I've done talks on the basics of ghost hunting. I took ideas and tips and hints from teams that I met all across the United States, and getting back to the basics and understanding why we do what we do. Why do we investigate at this time as opposed to that time? What is the actual use of the equipment? You know, we watch TV and it looks great to have the tri-field meter in our hands, or the Mel meter, or the K2. We use these things to go in and disprove paranormal activity. Now, as a sideline, we have found that there are sometimes that we can use these pieces of equipment because of their sensitivity. They may be creating a way for us to communicate with the other side, but to me, the jury's still out on that. And people often ask me, well, what the price I pay, or the misunderstanding I should say is, the price, you know, I paid $200 to attend this. He's got 200 people coming. That means Schrader just made $40,000 on this event. And that's assuming that the celebrities that gave up time with their families and their friends to come spend a weekend are doing it for free. Or that the airlines just comped us airline tickets for all of the celebrities, or that the hotels opened their doors and said, please come stay with us for free, Mr. Schrader, and bring anybody you want. So there's a lot of involvement, and what I wanted to try to do is give as much bang for the buck as I could. And at most events we have anywhere between 8 to 12 hours of content of speakers that are teaching about different aspects of the paranormal, from investigating techniques to psychic ability to the paranormal in the media. So we've got all these great speakers that come through and talk. And then after that, they get a chance to branch out for 4 hours to investigate some of the most famous haunted locations across the United States with some of their favorite celebrities. So at the end of the deal, I don't feel that I've cheated our audience at all. As a matter of fact, as a perfect attribute to that is I have so many people that return to our events time after time. Over half of our audience is usually repeat visitors because they've had such a good time and they know that we run a very good program. I think what's been really important with the sudden reburst of spirituality and the ghost hunts is the fact that people all over the globe now can come together via shows like Ghost Hunters and Paranormal State and Ghost Adventures and the internet, and people that felt alone and frightened by experiences they had now know that they're not alone. And there's an amazing sense of community. Whereas in most hobbies, we do hobbies for ourselves. It's something, knitting or macaroni duck art, whatever works, right? But in this field, we can do this hobby with people that have a like mind and the same sensibilities and the same ideas and want the same answers. And I think that's what makes the paranormal so unique, is that we're able to come together, work together, not always well, there's a lot of infighting and craziness, but I think that there's a lot of really great doors that have opened and a lot of healing has occurred because of this type of hobby.